guys, so in the last video we left off, we were just finishing up the plate here. And this is what the plate looks like in the end. And what we have done, and I said earlier in that video that I was going to have to explain why there were more than 8 holes. Well, I have the layout, the prints for all the Harbor Freight, the Kohler, and the Honda engine. Now the Predator prints aren't that great, so I went to the Honda, and everything matches up with the Honda, but I couldn't confirm it anyhow. So what I did was I put an extra. The Honda engine was offset from center 474 thousandths. So that's what this hole is right here. These are the holes we're going to use because of that. Now I drilled these holes mainly because if it was centered, these are on center, so we could always go back. And if it really got tough, we could come in here and slot these two and make it adjustable. So, but I think we're right here, and I'll show you the prints. So hold on for a minute. All right, so here is this is the print for the Kohler engine, and if you see here, the crankshaft is on center, and is measuring out at 3 inches 626, which is, if you divide 7,250, that gives you center line. So that's how I knew that this crankshaft was set up on center. Now, flip the page over. All right, so here's the the Predator print, and it only gives you the overall dimension, which was 7 inches 700 thousandths. But if you look, there's a datum line right here, and that datum line is off center. Here's the center line, and here's the datum line, and that's consistent with the Honda engine. So it gives you pretty much all the dimensions to the holes, just not real clear. Now let's see the Honda. All right, guys, let that focus in here. All right, so here's the dimensions for the Honda. Now, if you look, there's a datum point here, and here's your center line. And you're 3 inches 550 from one side and 4 inches 100 from the other side. So that's where I got my measurements from and my offsets. It looks like it's going to match up with a Honda print. I mean, it's a Honda clone, so it should. So that's what we're going to go with. So all right, guys, so that is where I got how I laid out all my holes. Now what I did is I used some angle blocks and a couple other things, laid out things on the table, scribed the marks in the table, and that's the way I confirmed my dimensions. So not only did I have the prints, I had confirmation by laying everything out. Okay, so we have the lawnmower here. You notice we've taken a few things off. We made it more accessible to where we can get in here and do our work. So what we're about to do is we're going to go ahead and mount the plate. I mean, it's been deburred. It's ready to go. I got it marked which side it goes up. Got a little tick mark right there, and that goes towards the front of the mower. So let me set up, and we will come in here and we're going to put the plate on and go from there. All right, guys, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to drop this little Allen key there down into the bolt. So I'm gonna have to get on the floor and put this in. I've taken some of the all the pulleys off from down here. Also kind of got the Xyler just hanging. Might have to take it completely off. Anyway, let's find our holes. This one I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get to. It looks like I'm going to have to take this idler all the way off to get that. So for what I'm doing right now though, I think I'm just going to put in
3 bolts. Let's see if we can get that out of here. Alright, so now we should be able to get to all 4 bolts. Alright.
Alright guys, so next thing we need to put on here is I cut these studs, and these studs go in they're just all thread that I cut and chamfered the ends. And got that ready to go. So now we're going to bring the motor over, and we're going to set this motor. I had already set this motor inside this housing, so I knew I had to take off the controllers and for it to fit. So it's the first time we put it in on the plate. I hope everything works out. So. All my math is right. Those two go in. That looks good. Alright, looks like it's going to go. Go. Alright, let's get this stuff out of the way. Alright, so of how it's fitting. So see where the studs come through. Now I still got to rig up oil line, drain oil, a couple other things that I haven't done yet. Alright guys, so we got the motor in, got the clutch on the back. Now what we need to do is we need to check our alignment here. We have a 5/8 rod. Okay, so if I have a 5/8 rod, we set it in there, we put it inside the clutch pulley and we put it on the idler pulley here. And then we can take a square. Now this floor I know is not perfectly straight, so I'm planning on being off a little bit. But if you look real close there, I'd say there's not hardly any, just perfectly straight. So we're good in that direction. Okay, and then that's in this direction. Okay, so we're good there. So we're in alignment. So that offset was correct. All right, so now we need to take and turn, and you probably won't be able to see this direction so much. Let's see if I can move a camera to show you what's going on here. So if you look at that same shaft, and pretty much square that way. Okay, so we're in the right alignment. Everything looks good, and so we're ready to proceed with the PTO shaft on the front.